Hello everyone and welcome back to Dragalia Foundry, a fan channel where everything Dragalia Lost can be found. I've been enjoying a nice holiday break and will probably continue doing so until about the New Year's, but there's been a lot happening in Dragalia Lost, so I wanted to make this video as kind of a way to round things up and talk about recent events as well as some upcoming ones. So this will be sort of a catch-all, just end of year roundup video. And let's start off by talking about Time Attack, since that's been happening right now. I think that's the most recent event to start since I made my last upload, which was about A Dash of Disaster. So let's look at the Time Attack challenges. These are almost done. You can see my best solo time and best co-op time here. For about a day, I had a glimmer on the leaderboards for solo, with a rank of, I think, 52 on the first day, and then was totally boxed out by the second day. But still pretty content with these and very happy overall with how the Time Attack challenges were handled this time around. Separating class rewards and ranking rewards I think was an excellent choice, and adding a greater variety of quests was also really cool. It's also neat that this is locked to Flame Adventurers only and it's win content, because the first time around, the combination of brand new quests, people trying to grind them up for materials versus doing time attacks since the lobbies were combined, as well as having them in every single element, made time attack very overwhelming for a lot of players. So I think that the way this was handled was amazing. I hope that we see more time attack challenges in the future, and it certainly looks like that might be the case. Perhaps on off months between Legend difficulty Agito quests, we'll get the time attack challenge of the element that just got its Legend update. So let's take a look at the class rewards here, and these are just honestly fantastic. Other than where this event gives you a lot of the things that players have been wanting right now. Eldwater, a lot of rupees, like almost 50-60 million rupees in here, and Champion's Testaments. It's really a gold mine if you can get relatively quick clears on all of these quests. If you're struggling with this, skill prep, energy prep, those types of mechanics that can lead to explosive damage are very helpful. And let's take a look at the ranking rewards. As you can see, the ranking rewards are just epithets. So unless you really care about getting epithets, you don't have to worry about this. This is a great way of separating the competitive aspect of Time Attack from the just rewards aspect. That is a reason it was always a great event. But last time, there's just a lot more competitiveness, toxicity kind of baked into it, because the valuable rewards that you would get were tied to your ranking and not just your class. So I think that this is a really good system. I've still seen really fervent competition and excitement in theory crafting channels around both the solo and co-op Time Attack. I'm amazed that solo has come down to 7 seconds. I would never have expected that. On day one, I think we were at like 10 or 9 seconds, and then it went down to 8 with some really galaxy brain builds, and now even 7. So I think that's incredible. I'm probably looking at the Gale Speed Soloist Tier 3 at this point. I think I'm going to be able to stay in the top 10%. And for co-op, I think I'll probably be able to stay in the top 10%, but I might fall off. So let me show, I guess, rankings here. That's probably where we can check it out. And we'll see if this loads. Yeah, so it's at 7 seconds now. This is pretty insane. I love how Ezlith actually got dropped in some of these faster runs. That was really fascinating, but the gauge accelerator usage here ended up pulling through for one high-ranking Ezlith. And in the second place one, the high dragon weapons being used is actually really cool. So let me go to my overall placement. Right now I'm in the top 1%. That seems like a safe bet to stay in the top 10%. For co-op, a little bit more dicey for me. I can't believe they got down to 12. I was shocked when they got to 13 or 16, and now they got to 13 and now 12. I mean, this has also been very phenomenal to watch. But to share mine, a little bit more precarious here, but as more players try this, it's actually getting a little bit less competitive because there's more lower ranked players. So I think my 39 seconds will hold. For this, I just use the quadruple mim strategy. Pretty safe strategy, fun to do. Pretty secure 40 seconds if everybody knows what they're doing. But obviously there are some really interesting strategies here. Again, with no Ezliths to be found in the top performing players. One of the cool things is they didn't share the skill shares here as well, so it's kind of fun to guess and theorize and test your game knowledge about what skill shares could possibly be being used here in order to get these types of fast clears. I'll share my team that I got my 11 seconds with. It's no longer like a very competitive time, but that was pretty fun to do. So this is the team I ended up using. These are characters I had all built before. All of them have Agito weapons, so it wasn't a lot of extra investment for me. And I have multiple Konohana Sakuya, as well as Mars and Kagutsuchi built. And I used energy prep as well, along with skill prep, and then just sort of some standard prints. A little bit of shield prep for Maribel to protect her. That's one of the roles that Yuya now plays as a backliner. If your lead character's ranged, then Yuya will cast his second skill to start the fight, and that shield will prevent Volk's teleport from damaging anyone, so that's kind of nice to keep full HP, and allow all of your units, or most of them, as many as you want to run the Happier Times Wormprint at 4-star. But one of the things that kind of held me back was my skill shares here. I have Summer Julieta and Regular Julieta. Regular Julieta is kind of a slower animation, but it does a lot of damage. Summer Julieta likewise. And I couldn't ever really get them off fast enough while also hitting OD and breaking in time to get a particularly faster time. So right now I'm pretty content with my 11 seconds and really happy with how Time Attack turned out overall. All right, next up, let's talk about the Gala Dragalia, since this is now live. So I did summoning on this. I used a couple of tenfolds with Diamantium, and then I did one with my summon vouchers as well. And I guess I did 3, looking at the worm sigils with Diamantium. Had some Diamantium from buying Champions Testaments packs, really wanted to build out more characters. And I'm glad that I was able to get Gala Zephyr within those summons. So after that last tenfold summon voucher I used, I'm totally done. Wanted to use the Diamantium a little bit here because our Wormite had gotten crushed going for Dragoniel Victor and Dragoniel Lily, and really wanted to kind of save up for the future while also picking up this Gala Dragon. At the end of the day, I don't think Gala Zephyr is anything special. Unfortunately, it looks like for these Reborn Dragons, for better or worse I should say, they're going to follow a template, and essentially, it looks like Gala Reborn Zephyr is exactly like Reborn Poseidon, just in the wind element and strong against the water element instead of being strong against fire. So perhaps this will be a continuing trend in the story. Maybe we'll see Gala Reborn Jeanne d'Arc, Gala Reborn Nidhogg, Gala Reborn Agni, and they'll all have the same type of aura, sort of like the generic Gala Dragons, and Mars, Cat Sith, and Thor are the special ones. Hopefully those special ones will also get rounded out in due time. But for now, this seems like a continuous way to pump out Reborn Dragons, to have Gala Dragons every other month. So I expect to continue to see these in the story and continue to have them be released. Personally, I don't think Gala Reborn Zephyr is super necessary. Vayu seems like a good dragon for Time Attack, a good dragon probably for Legend difficulty, and Midgard Stormer 0, excellent dragon if you're using a ranged character, give you a nice HP boost to help you survive, good if you can keep up combo. Useful to have at least one on a team thanks to its skill, lowering the water resistance of enemies that you're battling against, or wind resistance rather. So I think that if you have either Vayu or Gala, or rather Midgard Stormer 0, then Gala Reborn Zephyr is totally optional. If you want to pull for him, go for it. If you don't. I decided to. I have to have Eleonora have all of the dragons available to her at all times, so I decided to go ahead and go for it and stone up a Gala Reborn Zephyr. Hopefully I can put it to some good use, but I, again, sort of like Poseidon, but I would say, like Poseidon, it's very good. With Poseidon, we weren't sure about the mods and stuff, and they got changed the day that the showcase ended, and it was declared that they were a bug. They were accidentally too low. In this case, I think it's just Gala Reborn Zephyr seems to be very solid, but like Poseidon, there's a lot of good wind dragons, much like there are a lot of good water dragons, so this isn't necessarily a must-have in my opinion. It's a good dragon. It's a dragon you could spend stones on pretty justifiably, but it's not necessarily a must-have. So with nothing else being on this Gala showcase and some upcoming showcases, Part 1 and Part 2 happening soon, I would probably say most players might want to skip on this. I did so for the sake of collection, but if you look at it, it's a very short duration, and those New Year showcases are always pretty tempting as well with limited time characters. So speaking of those, let's get into that next, and then we'll close out with the cleaning events, Battle Royale, Compendium editions, and so on. So let's look at this new raid event that's happening. Cursed Connections, there was a sweet trailer posted on the Nintendo Mobile YouTube channel. Lots of characters in this event. It looks to go really deep. It is our New Year's Hinamatoan themed raid event. And this time around, there's some drama, there's some intrigue compared to usual. So first of all, there's a new character called Doman, and it was pointed out to me in the comments that this is a rival character to Abe no Seimei historically, and I think Doman, Seimei are characters who were part of data mines as well, so I don't think Doman's playable, but I think Seimei is. Makes sense because Seimei's a Worm Clan leader, Doman is the rival. And in addition, there's like a Kitsune character, there's the Rooster Worm Clan leader in the trailer, so we also see that, it looks like Seimei has a very popular looking, very handsome dragon as well, so we'll see how that works out. Otherwise, just reading through this, seems like it's going to be a fun event. We might finally kind of get into what's happening in Hinamoto as far as the wars of secession to who'll become the shogun, or whether people want to overthrow the shogunate entirely and overthrow Amaterasu's reign and the Worm Clan leader's reign. So there's a mysterious group called Mukurushu that is putting sinister schemes into action, so I guess we'll find out more about that very, very soon. But pertinent to what we're talking about with Gala Reborn Poseidon, well, there's going to be 2 banners for Cursed Connections for this New Year's raid. And fortunately, we're getting some free summons on both of them, free tenfolds in fact. So love to see this. The generosity has really taken a pivot right now at the end of the year. I've been very impressed with the rewards, both from Time Attack, from the Rupee, Eldwater, and Champion's Testament standpoint, and also from the cleaning event from a Wormite standpoint, which we'll get into a second. But having these free daily tenfolds is going to be a nice continuation of that generosity into the new year. Really got to see that. For those who do spend money in the trailer, we also found out that New Year's packs are coming back, so there will be some paid options available that are pretty good value. But the downside here is, of course, split showcase. So you're going to have to ration your resources between these. It did look like there were a lot of characters tied to this event, so I can see why there would be enough characters to split things here. But still kind of a challenging situation for summoning resources overall with all of these lucrative banners. So that's enough about the free summons and the upcoming showcases. I guess we should talk about the cleaning event and other New Year's events. So Sweeping Retrospective has come out. There's only about 2 days left in this, but there's really great Wormite endeavors available just by doing this every day. The Gold Slime Cleanup is, I think, the second best source of rupees that we've ever had in the game. I think the best one was half stamina plus double drop Avenue to Fortune. This is a close second. It's really good. You get 244k rupees per 10 stamina, which is excellent for doing this Gold Slime Cleanup. I don't think the Fafnir Cleanup and Treasure Slime Cleanup are really worth it. The Fafnir Cleanup, I think you get 22 gold crystals per run, and you need about 2200 or so to take a character from level 80 to level 100, so that's a lot of runs just to level up one character who's been mana spiraled. Likewise with the Treasure Slime, I don't think the Rainbow Orbs are guaranteed there, and there's other ways to get Rainbow Orbs now, but for rupees, this is the most lucrative option. However, as with anything in Dragalia Lost, it always sort of pays off to wait until the last day something is available outside of doing dailies. And in this case, we just found out, and this started today, that part of the year-end events that are happening are half stamina and half Gatherwing advanced dragon trials as well as the Agito Uprising. So all of a sudden, this is a serious contender. In fact, it's more than a serious contender, because when you think about the half stamina, now you can do standard High Midgard Stormrose trial for only 10 stamina, and you get 300k rupees from that. So this basically strictly dominates the Avenue to Fortune, or not Avenue to Fortune, the Gold Slime Cleanup that we just talked about, the cleaning event, right? So unfortunately to all those who immediately jumped and spent all their resources on the cleaning event, that is actually not the money event right now. It's actually this half stamina half gathering also endgame content. Standard difficulty if you want the rupees. As for me, more importantly, the master difficulty here is where it's at to get double orichalcum. Double effectively because I'm paying half cost. But for co-op, another thing that's happening is that every day, one trial is going to have co-op double drops available. Today it's High Midgard Stormer's trial. This is going to rotate across the High Dragons and then the Agito as well. So getting extra orichalcum from Master at half the cost is going to be really, really sweet for this. So for me, that is where I'm at. I need more orichalcum. I have like 60 million rupees, but almost zero orichalcum, so I'm at that gate at this point. If you're still kind of trying to get rupees, then you can always go with the standard difficulty. But if you need those extra materials, then I would suggest the master difficulty, especially for co-op, where you have other people to kind of lean into as far as the difficulty goes. This doesn't apply to Legend, but this is kind of insane. Half cost double drops on endgame content. And the double drops, I believe, only apply to co-op, but even the half cost for solo play is just an amazing resource sink right now. If you can auto these, that is really good. So yeah, unfortunately for the cleaning event, it's great for the Wormite, great for the daily endeavors, etc. But it got power crept almost immediately. And I think the last couple of things to talk about here are the Alberian Battle Royale, as well as additions to the event Compendium. So these still say new because I play them on my phone and not my iPad, but they added Forgotten Truths and Fractured Futures to the event Compendium. You love to see it. Definitely highly stripped down, but good rewards in there. You do get some core weapons, some void weapons, which if you already have them is going to translate into seeds as well as sands. You can do the Omega difficulties, you can do the fixed stats quests. Essentially, it's just there for the story and to give you the free character. But as a brand new player, having that extra free character, extra story content, I think it's a good thing that the game has extra permanent content. Super stripped down, it's not the raid experience, it's not co-op, but I'm glad that these are available now. You shouldn't look at this as getting a lot of rewards, but it's something. It's more than I would have expected, honestly, as far as how to translate raids into the Compendium. And I think you still get, if you've already played through it and gotten these characters and stuff, you still get some pretty good Wormitis compensation, maybe half a tenfold or so. So that's it for the Compendium. And last up, Battle Royale. I might do a little bit more of this, but I had cleared out my monthly rewards before this latest update. And the last thing I'm working on as far as the monthly treasure trade are the Crimson Core, which I may or may not decide to clear out. I'm not sure. I've cleared out the special page. But they actually changed quite a few things here in the Battle Royale. So they added some new skills. This new explosion one is different. Ability tablets are now available. We still have Cupid for shapeshifting, but now there's also this volcano portion of the map. And I have to say, the volcano is really pretty cool. It's only a small portion of the map from what I've seen, but occasionally it'll erupt and there will be a giant volcano drop somewhere on the map, and afterward usually some tablets will spawn off of it. But just the idea of constantly updating the map is something that really appeals to me. I think this is honestly a good mode. I feel like it's an underrated mode, but for many players the lag just kills it. I really like this mode. It's just there's so much else to do in Dragalia right now as far as autoing and like grinding, farming, that I haven't really had a lot of time to play this, but I'm excited for the future of this one. Probably next season, when that starts in January, I will genuinely try it out, try to do some volcano map play. Overall, I'm really happy with how Dragalia Lost has handled their end-of-year content. I've been pretty impressed that they didn't take their foot off the brake or off the gas. They didn't put their foot on the brake and take it off the gas here at the end of the year. I've definitely been taking a breather, but the Dragalia dev team clearly has not. They lined up all of this good stuff to happen right at the end of the year. That's not even talking about our login bonuses that we have coming up, as well as lucky letters, which we should be able to crack open pretty soon here on the new year. But I think this is going to be the last video I make for a couple days. I'll probably talk about the new banner once that's out, as well as the new New Year's event. But likely into the new year itself, want to continue taking some time off, as well as writing my script for a new beginner's guide video. So everyone, that is going to do it for today. I hope you've been having fun in Dragalia Lost. Thank you as always for watching, take care, and I'll see you next time.